Hi, my name is Venessa Delarosa. I'm the face of Full Figure Fashion Week 2012. Well, like we said, I graduated from the military in high school with a great accomplishment, but I think the biggest achievement for me was giving birth to my 3 beautiful girls and raising them to be young women. Well, it's funny because 2 weeks ago I had an audition and a young girl came up to me and she was very nervous. She was only 20 years old. She had never did a casting for a runway show. And I kind of just spoke with her and told her, you know, just be confident in yourself. And I just gave her some pointers and made her feel good about herself. She said she never wore heels before. And I said, well, you're going to have to learn how to do that. And then another girl, an older girl, came up to me and it really touched me. She said, you know, Vanessa, I'm about your age and I've been wanting to model forever and I just never got into it and just never, always told myself that I just couldn't do it. And she said, I sent your bio to my mother, and because she's always telling me, oh, you need to start doing something else, and it made me feel good that me being as old as I am, I'm not too old, but that she kind of understood where I was coming from, and I just encouraged her, even if it was just a hobby or just something that she did, just to keep doing it. So it made me feel proud, and I always try to encourage young girls as well as older women to live out your dream. I'm an open book, so I grew up very poor in a rough childhood and fitting in, I didn't know where exactly. I was always bullied as a young child because I didn't have the nice clothes like other girls did, and then I had so much self-issues, and then being a smaller model, and then, you know, the last few years, since 2006, I've been a full-figured model, and I had to really accept who I was and be happy with the person that I was in. So it's taken me a long time, but I've kind of built this self-confidence within myself. I don't know if there was a specific turning point. I think it's just all about timing for me. Within the last year, I moved and I got a new home, and I started doing more things. Like I said, I've been doing fashion shows in Atlanta for the last 3-4 years, and I just, like I said, didn't know if either I was always too skinny, either I was too thin, or I was too fat, as people said I was. And within this past year, I think it was timing. I think it was just my time, and I felt great about who I am and my skin and, you know, my curves and my little lumps here, but I'm happy with who I am right now. Well, for the last couple years, since Ms. DeVoe has done this, I've always told myself, ooh, not this year. There was always just something that just kind of blocked me. Actually, it was my own self that blocked me from doing it. And I had a conversation with my daughter, my oldest, my honey. She's been one of my biggest supporters. She said, Mom, go do it. Try it, you know. And then I talked to my girlfriend, and she was like, Vanessa, you're beautiful. You can do it. This is your time. And then, of course, my other 2 girlfriends that are filming this now, Letitia and Champagne from Bartone Entertainment, they said, this is who you are, Vanessa. This is what everyday women are. So be who you are and just do it. So it was good to have a few people in my corner as a support system. Well, I always try to teach my girls to have endurance, to be self-motivated, to be able to do whatever you want to do and never limit yourself. The sky's the limit. And I just want them to see that no matter what we've been through, me and my girls, because, you know, being a single mom isn't easy and our schedules are always hectic, but I want them to know and just to never quit, you know, to try. I think the biggest thing is not to try and just to quit. And it feels good when my daughters can motivate others to do the same. I found out in 2007, 8, and it was actually, it was pretty hard. It was pretty rough because when I found out, I was like, oh my goodness, my first thought was, if I pass away, who's going to be there for my girls? Because all they have is me. And I had some encouragement from my doctor, and I was just, you know, wasn't sure if I was going to live or die. And I think that was the biggest heartbreak for me, not knowing and being educated about the procedure and everything. And then when she told me that I could have a hysterectomy, but she told me I wouldn't be able to have kids anymore, and that kind of hurt because I've always wanted a son. But then I was happy that I have 3 beautiful, healthy girls. So it was hard, but I with faith of God, I managed. The Tyler Perry, I was actually at church and they had on the bulletin a big audition, and it was so funny because the day I was getting ready to auditions, why did I get married? I was in the hospital having my surgery for the hysterectomy, and I missed out on that. And then the second time with my epidural, I got casted for Meet the Browns, and I was in the hospital for my epidural. So the third time that I could do it was for Adia Goes to Jail, and it was a great accomplishment. For weeks we filmed the jail scene, and then I actually was called about 3 weeks later to ask me to come in to do a prostitute scene, and it said, come hair and makeup ready. So me being a Pretty Woman fan, I came in Hollywood, Pretty Woman, and they said, oh no, that's not how we need you to look. And it was so funny because I have conversations with God all the time, and this is my testimony. I was driving there, and I was talking to God. I said, you know, God, it would be great to have a line in the movie. And when I got there and they changed me up and dirtied me down, they remembered who I was from the jail scene, and they said, because I had Thug Life tatted on my neck, and they said, Thug Life, come here. We need you to read these lines. And I was like, oh, what a blessing. So I always say, you know, for my mother, she's always telling me to claim it, put in the atmosphere, and say what you want. I don't want to be biased. There's so many great designers. Of course, I can't wait to talk with Miss Linda Vole, Jabri, Corvado, Grace Collection. I just don't want to say anyone specifically because I actually am excited to meet all the designers and the models as well. Well, my message is, you know, look at my life, and I always wanted to be a spokesperson for women, young girls all over, that if you've ever had a dream or something that you want to do, write a book, start a business, just go out there and do it. You won't limit yourself, like I said, when you don't try or you don't put forth effort. You got to give it 110% and do your research. Some people don't make it in this business. I've been doing it for many years, and I've always been told from certain people, even when I've reached a certain platform, oh, you're not a model, you know, you're not this, you're not that. And I think if I stopped and listened to the negative people and, you know, they try to put me down, or then I'm, you know, even when I won, I was told that my bio was fake or that I was lying. I am who I am, and I just want women to just try and be who you are, and your own person will come out in the end of who you are, and just be real and don't ever limit yourself. Go for what you want, and I believe anybody can accomplish your dreams. Thank you.